Hi guys, I'm Nick Dunning. I'm the creator of Total Audition Magician and the author of How to Get Acting Work Quickly. And today I want to talk about fear. I'm kind of on a bit of a rant about this. I've been coaching a lot of people recently and I keep hearing this thing. Why, I keep saying, I keep challenge out. I say, why aren't you, could you try something new, something different? And they say, oh, I can't. I'm a bit nervous about doing that. I'm a bit fearful. I said, what is this thing called fear? What actually is it? I think it gets so much kind of play in the world at the moment. People I've been talking to, they say things like, I'm frightened of too much success, or they're frightened of failure, or they're frightened of, doing the wrong thing or saying the wrong thing. There's fear around all these issues. What is fear? And often what happens is people say things like, well, it's fight or flight, isn't it? You move towards something and then suddenly something comes in and you get terrified. So you want to flee it. You want to, or you fight it. Now, hold on a second. We are no longer living as cave people. There are a few exceptions, as we know, but not most of us. We do not live in that kind of a world. There are no saber-toothed tigers walking down the high street. There are no mammoths coming at us. There are no tigers walking in the door, It doesn't happen, okay? So most of the time, this reaction that we have is our own, some people call it the lizard brain or the amygdala reaction to something that's going on. But we also know now through neuroscience that we have way more capabilities and way more skills in terms of our being able to handle it. So really what I think the fear is primarily about, there are three main topics, and I'm going to take you through each one of those. The first one is what's known as loss pain. This is a psychological term. For example, when I was living in London and I was moving over to live in Ireland, I was frightened of losing my connections with all the people I was working with. I was frightened of losing my reputation and profile that I had in the UK. I was frightened of losing my friends, my mates. I was frightened of losing that. There was a fear of loss, as if I was never going to reclaim those things. And that became very big and powerful inside my life for quite a while. And then I realized that what I needed to do, instead of thinking what I was losing, because I'd made a big decision to come over and live in a different country, was to start thinking about what am I going to gain? What am I going to gain as a result of being over here? And I gained new things. I started to look in different ways. So that's the way you start to make changes. If you feel or fearful of losing something, start thinking how you can shift, how you can pivot your mind towards what it is that you can gain. And as soon as you start thinking about what can I get, let's say you were, giving up smoking, for example. If you're thinking that you're going to lose the ability to, have that cigarette, the relaxing cigarette, what you're going to put on all this weight, you might lose your thin body. What might you gain? You might gain, for example, more health. You might gain a better understanding of your psychology. You might gain more, your lung capacity might return. You might gain sweeter smelling clothes. Whatever it is that you think. Do you see what I'm saying? So start thinking about what you can gain if you ever experience loss pain. The other type of pain, we call this one process pain. Process pain is literally the kind of pain that you might be when you're going through something, if you're changing something, if you're doing something new. And a lot of actors come up against this if they've got to learn how to ride a horse, or they've got to learn how to do Tai Chi, or whatever. They're doing something new, or dancing. In my case, recently, dancing. A huge amount of fear around the process of learning to dance the Charleston. That's what I had to do. And it's the process of going through this, it's difficult. Learning where your foot goes here, your feet goes there, and your hand goes there. And whatever you're doing, the process itself causes the pain. So again, rather than focusing on the process, and let's remember, all change is a little bit uncomfortable. All change. I have a wonderful way I kind of describe this in some of the classes that I give. If you take your thumbs, put your thumbs on top of each other, you'll notice that your thumbs, one is on top of the other. Switch the thumbs around and notice how that feels. Weird, right? That's change. Change is always uncomfortable. But as you move through a process, put your thumbs back, you will then develop new skills. Okay? That process pain is best focused on when you focus on the end result and you start to coach yourself through gently towards the goal. And the other thing that people get fearful of is outcome pain. We get scared of what it is that the outcome is that's coming our way, this thing up ahead of us. And what we do inside our mind psychologically is we blow it up into this enormous scary monster inside our mind. And one of the best ways of handling that, if you ever feel yourself experiencing overwhelm or this massive fear coming at you, you're terrified of doing this new thing, like jumping out of the aeroplane, that fear, that kind of thing, shrink it down inside your mind. Literally allow the fear to shrink physically inside your mind and body system until it's doable. Get the picture? And as you build your skills in this area, what will happen is you'll develop what's known as the competence-confidence loop. And as you become more confident at handling these kind of things, you'll feel more competent. And as you feel more competent, you'll feel more and more confident. And so the loop goes on. That's what you want to get into. That's how you handle fear. That's how it works. Now, I'd love for you to give me a note underneath if you've got anything to say, any comments or questions or suggestions, and do subscribe to my channel. Spread the word, pass this around to anyone you know who's terrified at the moment. That would be really useful. And do click it about. See you soon, guys. Bye now.